there was quite a bloodbath yesterday in the market. Let's see what happened.
Hi guys, so yeah, last week was at the beginning quite a normal week, let's say, so the market didn't really move much. We see some upside, some downside, but Sunday, so yesterday was really negative day, and yeah, it's what happened. I believe really, or we believe that some market participants became quite, let's say, uneasy, and they were expecting a move on the upside, and there was too long of a time of just going up and down, and they want the returns. So the returns are not there yet, and they decided just to ditch it, or maybe lose faith in the crypto space. But we believe it's really a wrong move, and we will talk more about this later during today's commentary. And yeah, it is what it is, and I think what we need to practice here is patience, and the market will rebound. Sooner or later, many things are happening under the hood, and let's check them out.
Definitely.
So this is for the last week's commentary regarding the market moves. The last week performance was negative, almost minus 15%, and most of it was actually, as we said yesterday, with 11% drop. And for the month to date, so since the beginning of June, we are now at minus 9.4% return.
Okay. Yeah. Should we check Bitcoin and Ether?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. So, like you said, yesterday was really quite a drop, which affected nearly all the cryptocurrencies, and Bitcoin and Ether were no exception to this.
Okay.
Okay. So, as we can see, Bitcoin is really actually holding better than Ether. Okay. So, 1 week performance of Bitcoin is nearly around minus 10%. Okay. Month-to-date performance is close, actually, is minus 9.5%. Now, Ether had, let's say, worse week than Bitcoin. A little worse. So 1 week performance was minus 11%, and month-to-date performance is minus 9%.
Okay. Yeah, quite similar, because it makes sense. The larger coins tend to perform better, perform relatively, so they lose less during the downturn, and we will also see this when looking at the winners and losers. So let's see the market movers in the top 25 digital assets. The best performing asset last week was Binance Coin, which actually had still a positive return of 1%. And why? We believe that Binance, we all know this, one of the best exchanges, and they announced many new things in the last week. So one is the decentralized exchange they're building on, and now is this big 1 billion fund, which will go through Binance Coin as well. So this helps the coin to appreciate in value, and we are very positive and bullish on the Binance Coin. The second best was Bitcoin with minus 10.5%, and Litecoin with minus 12%. As said before, the larger coins tend to do better during the downturn, and this was the case here.
So let's check our top weekly losers. Okay. On the first place, we have Lisk. Okay, so it had a performance of minus 23%. Okay, now why is that? Actually, in November of 2017, Lisk released their official roadmap. Okay. In it stated that they will release their Lisk Core in November. Yeah, and up until now, they still have released it. Actually, they are in beta testing. So investors are kind of unsure what's happening behind them, and of course, they affected the price.
Definitely.
Okay. In the second place, we have Icon with minus 21%, and on the third place, we have IOTA with again minus 21%.
And now, I think we should move to the most important news last week. And one of the giant news, I would say, last week is that Fidelity is actually opening jobs for the building up of a crypto exchange. We already announced, last week actually, in our Twitter account, this news. We shared it on the Twitter account, so follow our Twitter as well for up-to-date news. And Fidelity CEO actually is bullish on cryptocurrencies and a big believer for quite some time. They even established the mining rigs to test all aspects, and they're a big believer in crypto. And this is now another huge step towards, we would say, crypto mass adoption. Fidelity manages $2.5 trillion of assets now, so this is one of the largest asset managers in the world. And this is what I said before when we were discussing the weekly performance. The market is moving sideways. We see now minus 10, it could be plus 10 the other week, but nothing happens in the last few weeks. Nothing happened. But under the hood, you can see more and more actually established big players preparing to enter the crypto market. The infrastructure is being built, and this means the institutional money will start flowing in. Of course, not everything at one time, but slowly, and we are really, really bullish on the future of the crypto market.
Definitely.
Okay.
So the second news is actually from Bitkha. So if you remember, in January of 2018, Bitkha was getting investigated, actually put in under the microscope by multiple agencies, government agencies. And now what happened? Of course, once the release came out, investors were pretty unsure and started to sell a lot of their cryptocurrencies. But now after nearly 4 or 5 months, still under investigation, but they haven't found anything. So report stated that nothing was found that was illegal or unlawful. So
all clear.
Clear, and that's
a positive,
sign, definitely.
Definitely. Moving to the next one, so the Swiss bank, one of Swiss banks, is the first actually offering cryptocurrency company business accounts. So this was quite a negative topic for quite some time in Switzerland. We know that there is a so-called crypto valley, which tries to bring in as many crypto startups to the country, and they're really successful with it. But one of the biggest problems was that no banks were willing to open accounts for these crypto startups, and they had to move to, I don't know, Liechtenstein and other countries to open the accounts. But now, they started to move things in Switzerland as well in this front. So banks are first bank is opening the account, and again another step towards the mass adoption of the crypto.
Really excellent,
in the move in the right direction. Yeah.
So let's check why the market dipped so much yesterday. And there is one possible reason. So CFTC started to investigate 4 of the largest crypto exchanges. And of course, again, there was a lot of uncertainty among investors, and they started to sell as much. So there is one possible reason why that happened.
Uncertainty is usually one of the major reasons. If you even look at the traditional stock markets, uncertainty is the thing that brings down the markets usually, Could it be the next war, now the trade wars and all the stuff? Always uncertainty is not good for the market prices, and the same, of course, in the crypto market.
As promised last week, what we'll check now is actually what would be more profitable. To keep your money in your pocket, to invest it in Bitcoin, or to invest it in ICOs in the last 15 months.
Interesting to see.
So let's check it out. The first bet, what we have, is for 2017. So in 2017, 10 out of 15 months, the best bet was still ICOs, which is really interesting. Now for 2018, since the start of the year, the best bet was to keep your money in your pocket, to keep it in cash.
Which makes sense since we're in the bear market.
Definitely. Okay, but the best time to invest in ICOs is still in the bear market. So that
makes sense, because actually, why? Let's elaborate on this a bit more. I mean, the ICOs are even more volatile than the, let's say, more existing established coins. So, of course, if you buy them at the low, when the market turns around and goes up, they will perform the best. So it makes sense, definitely.
Okay, and the last thing we have is the average return on investment in ICOs, which was last year, is 82%. Which is amazing for an average investor.
That's it for today, guys. Thanks for being with us. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and please post us some comments. We are waiting for your comments to see what do we want to have in our reports. Are we doing things okay? Do you want something additionally from our side to elaborate and discuss about? And thanks again for listening to us. Bye.
Cheers, guys.